Hello writers and welcome to Christmas Eve. Tonight I just want to share 4 or 5 simple ideas about how to deal with and survive and protect yourself over the next few very busy days of Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and to be ready for the new year ahead of schedule. I've got some simple notes here, and I think the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that because there are celebrations and parties and events happening over the next few days, there can be a sense that if they're happening in your house, your previously available private space, which is where you might have had a spare desk in your little office set up at home, is now a guest room for some people who are arriving tomorrow night. Maybe instead of having time to yourself at some point during tomorrow or Christmas Day and then following on to Boxing Day, you discover that you have several meals every day with guests and visitors and friends and family visiting. And although you love the event and you love the idea that people are coming to stay for Christmas, what's happened to your writing time? Your private space has been taken over by people who are using the spare bedroom. If it's anything like us, you've got 18 people arriving for a family meal on Christmas Eve, Noche Buena, here in Latin America, or you might be at home in Europe or the United States or somewhere in the world on Christmas Day, and there may be a worship service in the morning, there may be carol singing the night before, there could be all sorts of activities which are demands on your time, and it's important to set some goals for your writing progress to happen and your writing activities to happen, but also to enjoy the family time, to enjoy the social time with friends and family who are coming to visit. We as writers are introverts, so protecting our time is hugely important. Protecting our private space is important. I know, for example, that the studio where I work at the moment is my desk space for today and tomorrow, but come the predominant days of Christmas Day and Boxing Day, there are likely to be people storing coats in there, putting bags, putting gifts, putting luggage in that space, and I will lose that for several days. That doesn't matter if you've got a plan to take you from the Christmas period over and into the week prior to the new year. Your writing space is going to need to change. If you've always written every morning at the kitchen table, now that's a food preparation area for a big meal, or other people are descending into the kitchen early in the morning to get themselves breakfast, so you no longer have that as a writing space. Have you got a desk outside in the garden? Have you got a shed at the end of the patio? Have you got the opportunity just to leave the house early, ahead of everybody else getting up, sit yourself in a coffee shop for an hour, and buy that time for yourself in exchange for the purchase of that cup of coffee? You and I, as creative people, need that emotional lift, that buzz that we get from sitting down and writing 400 or 800 words, because it calms us, it helps us to anchor ourselves in our own creative space. So you need to protect that. You're probably going to need to change your writing timetable. If you have been an afternoon writer, certainly that's my priority for writing time, is 4 o'clock till 6 o'clock in the afternoon. I know that's not going to work over the next 3 or 4 days, so I've just got to adapt that. You can leave the house earlier, you can write in a coffee shop, you can sit on a park bench, you can find the space to do what is important to you, which is to create words on paper and or on screen. You've got folks coming over for a party, but you have got time to find 20 minutes to jot some notes down on some index cards or on an A4 pad of paper, and save those notes for when you know you've got a better protected writing time that you can work with in a few days' time. Don't be a Grinch, enjoy the party time, but protect the opportunity to put notes on paper, to jot ideas onto screen. My third point is to set smaller goals. If you have been in the habit of writing for 2 or 3 hours, 4 or 5 days a week, that's probably not going to happen over the Christmas holiday period. Can you make little notes on pieces of paper and grab things? My notes for this little chat with you this evening are on little post-it notes stuck onto an A5 notebook, and that's enough for me tonight. I could have made a longer script, but I didn't want to do that because I thought It's early in the hours of the 24th of December. It's dark here. The full day hasn't yet started in Europe, but it will be Christmas Eve when I wake up tomorrow. Set some smaller goals. Manage something daily. Can you put 300 or 400 words on paper tonight before you go to bed, or first thing in the morning? Can you add to the story that is in your head at the moment? These little tips and ideas are about making the most of the Christmas period, the festive period, so that you can enjoy that social activity, the party time, the getting together with friends and family. And there might be lots of video calls that you want to catch up on with people around the world in different spaces and different time zones. But you still need to put time aside for you. You still need to know that when you put your head on the pillow, tomorrow night, the next night, that you have enjoyed a balance of social time and a little bit of creative time, so that that hasn't been lost with all the festive activity. This is a holiday period. It's only going to last for a few days, and then you are out of that activity, out of that requirement to be around people, to socialize, to engage, to do all those things which for a lot of us as introverts is potentially awkward, can be difficult. Enjoy the social activity, listen to the stories and find out what people have been up to, and connect with friends you haven't seen maybe for much of the year, and family members you might not have seen for months or even longer. But don't lose sight of the fact that the new year is only a week away now. Add notes, make ideas, jot things down, put ideas onto paper or screen, and find yourself in a place where you can enjoy the next few days and be ready, by having protected your creative activity and your artistic focus, you can be ready to write as we move beyond the holiday season and move into a fresh new year where you already have some exciting projects in place. You want to bring a new manuscript to market. You're writing a collection of short stories or poems, or you have a novel that's been underway since you finished a first draft in November and NaNoWriMo, and you want to bring it to the market. You want to bring it to your readership and launch that in the new year. Protect a little bit of private creative time over the next few days. Have a great holiday, connect with friends and family, and be ready for the new year to start in a few days' time. Happy Christmas, and of course, happy writing.